Hello and welcome to Kingston Now. I'm Jimmy Buff. This week we'll introduce you to Santa Fe, a good new restaurant in Kingston. We'll talk with Steve Ladin about his bid for Alderman in Ward 4, and we'll start with Elliott Auerbach, the Ulster County Comptroller. Hi, Elliott.
How are you?
I'm well. I saw you at the Ulster County Democratic Convention a couple months back, getting nominated for now your third term for Comptroller.
Right.
And I thought, boy, he'd be a great guest.
Well, thank you.
I thought that because of your personality
Thanks.
and the way you included your staff in accepting the nomination. And I also thought you'd be a great guest because I'm not entirely sure what a comptroller does. And
you and the other 183,000 people in Ulster County. We often tell the story about who the comptroller is or what the comptroller does by spelling what comptroller, which is COMPTROLLER, and we say the MP stands for Money Police. And that's truly who we are. We're the eyes on Ulster County for the 183,000 people that live here. Like to bill ourselves on occasion as the watchdog for the taxpayers.
So you're watching the government spending in Ulster County.
Right. You as an Ulster County resident have given county government a credit card, and we're watching how they use it and spend your money. We will audit and review many of the departments in the county. We will opine on different procedures and policies in the county, but most of all, we consider ourselves the fiscal and financial conscience of the county.
So that's an elected position now.
Yes.
One would think that might be an appointed position. Why would that have a Republican or a Democratic or an independent component to it?
Right. I think you hit the buzzword, independent. It allows the people to pick that person. And we see it so far in 8 counties in New York State. There are 8 elected county controllers. There are some appointed controllers. A lot of counties have elected treasurers. Ulster County had an elected treasurer prior to the charter change in 2008. But I think really what the whole essence of who the comptroller is he works for the people. Therefore, it's an elected position.
So occasionally you could find yourself at odds, perhaps, with your own party. Has that ever happened?
Occasionally. We say that there's no Republican nor Democratic way to audit. We feel that we need to be totally independent, and I know that we upset a number of different people depending upon who we're auditing and what we have to say. But that's just the nature of what we do, and we really relish that. That's an important part of who we are. It's the independence once we're elected.
You also have the opportunity to upset people who actually work for the county. Like recently, you did an audit on some county employees who are allowed to take their vehicles home.
Right.
And so if you're suddenly saying, well, you're using the car too much or the truck too much, those are people who vote.
I hear you. And sometimes it's hard to draw that line to distinguish, but again, our charge is to be there for the people of Ulster County. We bill ourselves and actually have a website where your eyes on Ulster. And that's who we are. We are looking for the taxpayers' interest. When we reviewed the take-home vehicle issue, for example, we didn't know who the people were or what party they were registered to or actually, what their affiliation was. We just looked at it from the taxpayer's vantage point.
So give me an idea of how a day in the comptroller's office works. I mean, what gives you pause to say, well, we're going to take a look at that?
Right. First off, I have a great team that I work with, a group of professionals. There's 7 in my office, an accountant, an attorney, a CPA, and a series of auditors. And we'll look at every dollar and every dime that's being spent by the county on a daily basis. So we actually review and approve spending. So when we look at that level, that ground level, it really gives us the opportunity then to question, was this a prudent expense? Was this expense fall within the contractual limits of it? And then go on to further, I'll say, drill deeper into the department if there's some questionable expenses. The vehicle one was just one of many that we've done. We looked at cell phone use in Ulster County. There's a couple hundred cell phones being carried by county employees. And we wanted to see and monitor that use of the phones, how they were being used. Was there an abuse? Because once again, when we look at the bill that comes in at the end of the month, it's not your home cell phone bill. It's an awesome amount of money, and we wanted to ensure that the taxpayers are being well protected. So we do a lot of pick and shovel work, I call it, and the pick and shovel work really is looking at every dime and every dollar in a voucher and a purchase order that's spent, and then go on from there. My staff meets on a weekly basis, and we review various issues during the course of the week. Right now, we're looking at tax-exempt properties in Ulster County and how that impacts the county and the respective towns, looking at the 2,400 wholly exempt properties that probably have a value somewhere of about $1.8 or $1.9 billion, and how that impacts the taxpayer.
And is it possible that there are people on who have tax-exempt status who maybe don't deserve it? Is that something you'll be looking for?
Stay tuned. We're in the process right now of drilling deep on that and getting close to it, and there may be. And then working with the New York State Attorney General's office to ensure that they do have the proper exempt status. You know, we know the churches and the synagogues, we could name those pretty easily, the school districts, but there's some quirky, you know, wholly exempt properties out there that we really want to ensure do deserve that wholly exempt status, because every time we take a property off the tax rolls, the other taxpayer is picking up the tab for that. So we want to, again, ensure that it's done correctly, legally, and properly.
In looking at this stuff from the Comptroller's office, how often do you find that it's just mismanagement and poor management versus actual malfeasance, someone trying to pull a fast one?
Good question. I would say that it's a 50-50 split. You know, and I'm going to tell you that the folks who work for Ulster County, about 1,800 of them, really go in on a daily basis to do a great job. Sometimes they work with one hand tied behind their back, and we opined on that early on when we took office. The financial management system is antiquated, and we've brought this up to the legislature and the exec's office a number of times, and it's being updated as we speak. But when we came in 2009, we were looking at what we call a green bar paper report that was, you know, way back. It mirrored a DOS system, and here we are in 2009 working in a 1991, 92, you know, area, and we just said, come on, you can't do this. You're managing a $350 million plus operation. You need to have all the tools to make it work effectively. So in the case of some of the employees, they were literally working with one hand tied behind their back. And I think they appreciate the fact that we've brought that forward to make their job somewhat easier.
So the new form of county government, which is about 6 years now, we've had a county executive
right.
And a comptroller.
The charter was put into place in 2009, so it's the county controller form of government, yes.
That would seem to lead one to believe that things are getting more efficient in the county.
Certainly. I mean, best indication this year, there was a property tax decrease. I mean, that says a lot about how this government's being run. You know, I give a lot of credit to the exec's office. I give a lot of credit to my staff. I think, you know, shoulder to shoulder, we're both there for the betterment of government and for the best interest of the people, and it's reflected right now.
You're a native of Ulster County. You went to college on Long Island, then you came back to become. Well, you were in private business, and you became mayor of Ellenville. Yeah. What is the experience of being comptroller? What is it that wants you to motivates you to run for a third term?
Well, you know, first of all, I love what I do. I get up every day, and it's an adventure. There is no day that is the same, so that makes it exciting. It's also the opportunity of helping people. Not only are we the bean counters of the county, you know, the numbers people, but we also fancy ourselves to be a conduit for many of the county residents' problems. They could use our office as a place to enter into county government and try and get a solution to their problem. We could point them in the right direction. It's almost like being the inspector general at times. You know, you pick up the phone, you call up and say, my Meals on Wheels didn't come today. How do I solve that? I said, well, we may not have the answer to that, but you may want to call the Office for the Aging. Here's the number. Here's the person you want to talk to. We put a hotline in place that's been very active, and we put an anonymous email system in place so someone could actually send us an email and tell us a problem that they see. 9 times out of 10, it's not in our purview, but we can direct them to where to get the solution.
Terrific. Well, keep up the great work, Elliott.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You're watching Kingston Now. Next is Steve Ladin, former candidate for mayor of Kingston and current candidate for alderman. Stay with us. Welcome back to Kingston Now. Steve Ladin is an artist, author, and former candidate for mayor of Kingston. He's now running for office again, this time for the Common Council as an alderman from Ward 4. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Why in the world are you going back into politics after the mayoral campaign a couple of years ago?
Well, I learned an unbelievable amount of things running for mayor. For the most part, I had really a great time, but it was a big challenge to do the whole city. And I decided after a lot of soul searching that I thought that I could probably do a really good job as alderman for the 4th Ward. As a matter of fact, I walked the ward probably every day, the entire ward, you know, in the 2 walks that I go with Jonesy. So that's probably 75% of the job right there, just knowing what's going on in the ward. And just the experience I had meeting people and participating in, not necessarily Kingston politics, but what I thought would be the best thing for the city and the residents. I just thought I would be a good candidate for alderman in Ward 4.
Now, Jonesy is your dog, and you
He
actually
is.
have your own political party, the Red Dog Party.
The Red Dog Party.
Which is, that's who you ran under the banner of for mayor a couple of years ago. And when I asked you that question a second ago about why would you do it again, it's because there was so much opposition to a third-party candidate a couple of years ago.
Yes, there was. And I received an unbelievable compliment from our Assemblyman Cahill. He ran into me one afternoon at Keegan's, and he wasn't happy that I was running because he thought that I would be pulling votes away from the Democrats. I didn't feel that was true one way or the other, but he did make a comparison to the election that Ralph Nader ran in, and I was flattered to be compared to Ralph Nader.
Well, like Ralph Nader, it wasn't necessarily an easy go, and probably for alderman, your path is going to be a little smoother.
It is. This time I was very much smarter. I really wanted to maintain my independence when I was running for mayor, so I never sought the endorsement of either the Democrats or the Republicans or the Independence Party. It was strictly the Red Dog Party. But this time, I did contact the Democrats. I contacted the Republicans, and I contacted the Independence Party. The Republicans endorsed me. I never heard back from the Democrats. And the Independence Party endorsed me, but I think there are some interior politics going on there, so I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go to.
It's funny because it doesn't seem like political affiliation is all that important on the local level here in Kingston, for instance, versus the philosophical divide at the national level. Because here you are, an independent who ran on his own party being endorsed by the Republicans. Would you describe yourself as a Republican?
No, and when I ran last time under the Red Dog Party, I was very clear. I said that I don't follow any particular philosophy. I steal ideas from the Republicans, from the Democrats, from the Independence Party, from the Working Families Party. I did include a few years ago the Tea Party, but I'm no longer willing to accept any of their ideas. I really don't think there's much that they can offer the voters. So I'm really not happy with anything I see from them. But something may change. Maybe they'll come up with a good idea that I can steal. And I think I said this last time. One of the most famous artists, Picasso, said that he was being criticized for borrowing ideas. He said, I don't borrow ideas, I steal them.
So what is your perspective on Ward 4? What is it that you want to bring to the people of that part of the city?
And that's another thing I learned. You could come with a very detailed message, but no one will ever know or be interested in it. So I learned how to simplify my message. And really, by walking around, collecting signatures last time and this time, I get to see things that people are really interested in that really resonate. And the two things are, first thing is, in Ward 4, there are places where people do not want to walk the streets. Now, I'll walk anywhere. I do, day and night. But there are places where people feel threatened. So, one of my taglines is, a safer street. All streets are safe. And then being an artist and also having ideas about how to improve the appearance of our neighborhood. The second part of the tagline is a more beautiful ward. So it's a beautiful ward, a safe ward. They both go hand in hand. And when you think about that, if I could bring those two elements into Ward 4, everything else will follow. It'll become prosperous. People will be buying homes there. It's really, I love the place. I love living in Ward 4 because of its central location. And I think that if we go along with making the place safe and beautiful, everything else will follow.
So the political process, there are primaries in September and then the general election in November. You're not sure yet if you're going to have a primary in Ward 4?
Well, there'll be a Democratic primary,
Yeah.
I'm sure, which I have nothing to do with. I don't know if I don't think there's anybody that's challenging me on the Republican line, so that endorsement I have. I'll be collecting signatures starting next week for the Red Dog Party, so I should have that second line. And as I said before, the Independence Party I may get that endorsement or not. I'm just not sure about that at this time.
Terrific. Well, Steve, thanks for being here. Good luck
Thank
in
you.
November.
Thank you.
This is Kingston Now. Next, we head to Santa Fe for a taste of Southwestern cuisine in Kingston. You're watching Kingston Now. Santa Fe has been a popular Southwestern cuisine restaurant in Tivoli for years, and recently they ventured across the mighty Hudson River to open Santa Fe Uptown.
Hi, my name's Annie Demosthenes. I'm a co-owner of Santa Fe Uptown, located at 11 Main Street in Kingston, New York. We just celebrated our first full year in operation. We opened last July of 2012, and Santa Fe Uptown is an offshoot of Santa Fe, which is located in Tivoli, New York, and has been around for 25 years. We have a great menu. It's full of quesadillas, burritos, tacos, some wonderful fish and steak dishes, and of course our most famous item, Santa Fe guacamole. The type of experience that I would like our guests to have when they visit Santa Fe Uptown is that they come and eat fresh, wonderful, delicious food, that they are given the top-notch service that every guest deserves, and that they're really comfortable in the atmosphere we've created for them. The thing that I think makes Santa Fe Uptown special is that we've worked very hard at creating a comfortable, cozy environment where all of our guests feel welcome and leave well fed. And as I said earlier, Santa Fe is an offshoot of a restaurant that's been operating in the Hudson Valley for over 25 years. So hopefully that shows in the quality of service that we give. My husband Jim and I decided to open Santa Fe Uptown in Kingston because 20 years ago I worked at the original Santa Fe located in Tivoli and truly enjoyed the time that I spent there. We maintained a great relationship with the owner, David Weiss, and the time just seemed right for us to partner up together and bring his concept to Kingston. The reason my husband Jim and I decided to open a Mexican restaurant here in Kingston, New York is my ties to the original Santa Fe Mexican restaurant in Tivoli. I worked there when I was a college student. I came to love the food. I really appreciate all of the hard work that went into developing that menu for the restaurant, and Jim and I thought that to be able to offer such fresh Mexican food to people on this side of the Hudson River would be a great thing. So we have lots of different specials throughout the week. On Tuesdays we have what we call Tacos and Tequila Tuesdays, and every Tuesday night we offer tacos, a variety of tacos that can be bought individually. We also do a special taco of the week. This past week we had a delicious Fleischer's chorizo taco that was topped off with sliced avocado, some white cheddar cheese, some crumbled queso fresco, and of course on Tuesdays we also have great margarita and tequila specials. On Wednesdays we have wing night, and it's been a huge hit. Apparently there's a great need for great wings in Kingston. Some of our signature dishes are our ahi tuna tacos, which seem to leave everyone very happy and satisfied. We also have our special Santa Fe guacamole, which is delicious. Everything we make here is from scratch, and I would say that we have lots of customers coming through the doors because of our enchiladas, típicos, and also our Puerto Angel shrimp burritos. Santa Fe Uptown's a unique place because we have a really lively, festive atmosphere, and hope that all of our guests feel welcomed from the moment they walk through the door until the moment they leave. Our food is the highest quality and the freshest ingredients, and we have some amazing margaritas, both frozen or on the rocks, with lots of fresh fruit purees that we like to add to those to give our customers a great selection. A couple of new things here at Santa Fe Uptown are our hours. We, for the first year of business, were closed on Sundays and had an overwhelming response from our guests that they would like to be able to come in on Sunday evenings and enjoy the food. So another new thing for Santa Fe Uptown is our outdoor dining. We recently constructed a deck and have some great tables and bar seating for people to enjoy the sunny outdoors while they're having their margaritas and tacos. Our hours of operation are 7 days a week, serving dinner Sundays through Saturdays. We're also open on Fridays starting at 11 a.m. for lunch. You can visit us at our website at www.santafekingston.com. My name's Annie Demosthenes, and this is Santa Fe Uptown.
That's it for this week's show. Thanks to Ulster County Comptroller Elliott Auerbach. To learn more about his campaign for Ulster County Comptroller, go to auerbach4comptroller.com. And thanks to Steve Ladin. To find out more about his bid for Kingston City Council, go to thereddogparty.com. Remember, all of our previous shows are available on our YouTube channel, and you can find that link on our Facebook page. For Kingston Now, I'm Jimmy Buff. We'll see you next time.